coaches who are constantly just degrading you, with teammates who are rude and mean. It does a lot to your mental health, and it is hard to keep going. Hi there, my name is Karis. Welcome to my channel. I do a lot of videos over college, lifestyle, natural hair, beauty, fashion, and stuff like that. But today I am super excited to be filming this video for you all because I actually have not dedicated a video to sports yet, and volleyball is such a huge part of my life. I've been playing since 6th grade, and it's just so nice to be able to sit down and just film a video just over volleyball. I have filmed multiple college related videos. If you want to check those out after this video, all you'd have to do is just click the I right above your screen and all those videos will come up, and I also have a link in the description down below. But today we are going to be talking about the pros and cons of being a student athlete. So if you want to know more, keep on watching. Okay, so a little about me before we start the video. My name is Karis, like I said earlier, and I am a junior at Lincoln Christian University. I have played volleyball there for 2 years because my first year I actually did not start out there. I went to a different school, and I honestly kind of just went there for volleyball reasons and I decided it really wasn't a good fit for me outside of volleyball, so I decided to transfer to Lincoln Christian, and I've really loved attending the school there and playing volleyball there. And lastly, I am a libero, so I'm 5 feet tall, very short, so I don't really see the front of the net very often. I stay in the back. But that is it about me. We are now going to hop right into the video, and we are going to start with the pros of being a student athlete. Okay, so the very first pro of being a student athlete is you get to play the sport that you love. And I know that kind of sounds cheesy and obvious, but not everybody honestly gets the opportunity to play sports, and I think it's a huge blessing to be able to play the sport that you genuinely love. So another pro of being a student athlete is you get to automatically feel like a part of a community, and that is a huge blessing because not everybody has the opportunity to have a whole community around them. So going into my freshman year of college, for example, I wasn't too scared about making friends because I knew I was going to have a whole bunch of teammates, and it makes it so much easier to become friends when you're spending so much time with each other on the court. And I honestly have felt like this all my life. I've never really felt like I've been forced to make friends because I've always had my teammates become my friends. So it is just very unique to always feel like a part of a community solely because you are a student athlete. Okay, so this next pro that I wanted to mention, in my opinion, has been the biggest pro of being a student athlete, and that is being a student athlete can really teach you so much about life. I have learned how to deal with conflict. I have learned how to work with people. I have learned how to treat others with kindness and compassion. I can sit here and tell you I have seriously learned so much through the game of volleyball, and these are lessons that are going to serve me well outside of the game of volleyball. So another huge pro of being a student athlete is it forces you to become better at time management. So I know that's not something that comes easy for everyone, but when you're an athlete, you're kind of forced to do well in school. And in order to do well in school, you have to get your homework done. And in order to get your homework done, you have to have time set apart to do your homework. So I've noticed being a student athlete, it has really helped me make sure to set time to do my homework assignments and turn them in on time, and this has kind of translated into other parts of my life. So because I've always kind of had to manage my time very strictly due to volleyball, I've also kind of started doing that even outside of volleyball, even when I'm not in season. Even when I was in this quarantine, I was like, okay, I gotta get this and done, and it has to be done before this time, when in reality I had like all the time in the world because we were literally stuck home. But because of volleyball, I've just really learned how to manage my time well. And this is the last pro that I'm going to mention, but I want you to know there are millions of other pros, but I'm not gonna sit here and make this video be like 30 minutes long. So the last pro I have for you is if you do decide to play at the college level, you can possibly get a scholarship, and that is a huge blessing because when you are playing a sport at the college level, it does tend to be a lot more time consuming, and yes, it is fun to play the sport, but it's also rewarding to be able to get a scholarship to pay for your school, and it's just really nice to do what you love and have it help pay for your school. But that is it for the pros. We are now going to move on to the cons. And before we do that, I just want to remind you, if you are enjoying this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and then don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos like this. And if you want to see more videos about college and being a student athlete or volleyball or anything like that, make sure you comment down below and let me know. Okay, so the very first con of being a student athlete is it can be very time consuming, and I'm going to be talking about it in a college perspective, not so much high school or middle school, although it can be very time consuming even if you're playing the sport in high school and middle school. But when it comes to college, it is a lot. It is a lot. You are traveling all the time. You are having practices every day. You are lifting. And then on top of that, you are trying to keep up with your grades. You're trying to figure out what you're going to do after college. It is very time consuming. And yes, it's fun to play the sport that you love, but sometimes it can be so overwhelming to the point where you forget to enjoy the game. Another con of being a student athlete is it can be really hard to make friends outside of your sports because you're literally with your teammates like 24/7, and when you're not with your teammates, you have to do homework or sleep. So it's really hard to have a social life. I remember my freshman year of college thinking like, wow, I don't even know the people who go to this college other than my volleyball teammates, because I never had time to really get to know other people or do other kind of social events because we were literally always on the road, always traveling, always practicing. So it can be really hard to have a social life outside of volleyball. But if you're lucky, you're going to have teammates that you get along with, and maybe that will be enough for you. So the very last con I have to say when it comes to being a student athlete is it can be very draining, both physically and mentally. Physically, because you're literally pushing your body all the time. You're giving 100% every single time you're working out, you're at a game, or you're at practice, and that just does a lot to a person's body. But I also think it can really drain you big time when it comes to your mental health. So when you are playing a sport, you are putting a lot of time into it, and if you're not surrounded with people who care about you, who love you, or with coaches who are constantly just degrading you, with teammates who are rude and mean, it does a lot to your mental health, and it is hard to keep going. And I think as athletes, we have been so trained to never give up and to keep pushing to the point where we can really let our mental health slip to the ground before we ever realize it's a real problem. So that being said, I want to recommend someone to you all. So I am a huge fan of Victoria Garrick. She played volleyball at USC. She was a libero there, and while she was there, she kind of started becoming a mental health advocate because she had gone through a lot of like eating disorder, depression, anxiety, stuff like that. And she recognized that a lot of student athletes were kind of forced to shove those feelings down and were never given the opportunity to talk about them. And so she has become this huge mental health advocate, and it's so cool because, like I said, it's not very common as a student athlete to speak up about those things. So if you do struggle with any kind of mental health and you are an athlete or just anyone in general, I would really check out her information. I can link down her Instagram in the description down below for you. Alright, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. If you are a student athlete, comment down below and let me know what sport you play and where you go to school. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and then subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos like this. I also recommend you follow me on Instagram. I post a lot on my Instagram stories. I'm super active there. So if you want to follow me, I will link my Instagram in the description down below as well. Don't forget to check out all those other videos I mentioned in the beginning of this video. But that is it for today. Until next time, bye.